we are not happy for what is going on. The situation now in Uganda can be compared with the time of Idi Amin Dada, whereby somebody arrested with impunity, somebody imprisoned, and a soldier finds himself as being superior and overall. How can you arrest somebody you take in ungazetted detention place? I think this is quite embarrassing. We are praying that Parliament should resume, and as members of Parliament, we condemn and we must deliberate on this matter. I pray that the Speaker should give us time so that we discuss on this. Unnecessary arrest. You arrest somebody with impunity and you go daringly posting on your X and Twitter, bragging that the man is under my basement, the man is under my detention. I think this is uncalled for at all. So Uganda is a democratic country. Let us follow the rule of law in this country. I call upon the President, His Excellency, who is the Commander-in-Chief, he must rein on this impunity act. Let it stop forthwith. Unnecessary arrest, taking someone to an ungazetted place is uncalled for totally. And as a member of Parliament, we condemn this with the greatest heart. You know, according to our rule of law, the immunity is only preferred on the President of the Republic of Uganda. It means no one is immune. Therefore, the law of the land must catch up with the CDF. And I pray that we need to take him head on. It's only the President who is immune. Anyone is not above the law. Therefore, as a member of Parliament, the Parliament will resume. We shall table this on the floor of Parliament. The law of this country must catch up with anybody who is doing things with immunity. Whether the CDF, the minister, the members of Parliament, no one is above the law. So we shall take him seriously. Looking at the act of the UPDF, it's as if the UPDF is taking over the roles of the Uganda police. And the IGP, together with this team, they are becoming like a toothless dog. They are just there as a body, but they are leaving their major roles to be hijacked by the UPDF, and specifically the CDF, who is giving the contrary order. And I pray that the rule of law must be restored in this country. That's why I'm calling upon the President. The President must rein on this activity. Let police do their work. The UPDF do their work. We as members of Parliament, we do our work. The sense of responsibility has been properly distributed. Why do you go doing the role of the police? It means if you want to take this country as a military government, it's better you declare. Just declare your intention, take it as a military government, so that we know that we are under the rule of the military. But this kind of pretense that there is democracy in this country, yet they are doing things on the contrary, I think is uncalled for. We condemned it in the highest order.
Thank you so much.
I have worked with the Lord Mayor of recent, and I know he's not in good health. His condition is not so good, and I want to condemn the actions, the abductions done by this government. It is really embarrassing. You know, nowadays, getting to know anything that concerns government, you just have to tap in Twitter and understand where the situation is going. So we just saw on Twitter, it was so unbecoming of this government. I want to appeal to them that you have him, you have abducted him, you have gotten all the information you want from him. Kindly release him to his people, because we need to see him, we need to understand on the way forward. It is very absurd. That is not the way we are going to see this country being run. It is very discomforting. To this government, we are appealing to you, we are requesting you, we are kneeling, actually we are kneeling before you. That is a big man, that is a big person. He's a former MP, he has been the Lord Mayor. He's a formidable lawyer.
I am disturbed with this development, negative development about the rule of law and respect for human rights in Uganda. This I say with respect to the increasing cases of complaints from the public about arrests and detention of people. Sometimes detention of people without following the due process. A case in point is this arrest of Honorable Erias Lukwago. He worshipped the former mayor or mayor emeritus for Kampala City, Erias Lukwago, was rudely and badly arrested from his home. We are asking why? What is the cause of that arrest? Yes, there could be a reason which needed someone to be arrested, but is that the way to arrest someone? For his case here, what is stated as the reasons? The reasons stated for the arrest do not add up. The circumstances surrounding the arrest are not add up. One, the arrest was done by the army, and it is reported and confirmed that under the orders of the CDF, Chief of Defense Forces. What was there in military terms? A security threat that required the best of our armed forces, Special Forces Command, to go and arrest a civilian right from his home in the way Lukwago was arrested. If there was any issue that required Erias Lukwago to be arrested, was it supposed to be the army? And if the army, UPDF, is it supposed to be the special forces? Definitely for the two, we say no. If there was a case, it should have gone through the due process of the law, and there should have been a warrant of arrest issued by court, and then police would have been the one to go and arrest the person who was deemed to have been targeted for arrest. In this case, what has happened to Lukwago is not correct. You see, sometimes someone with the force can do something, and at the end of the day, that thing injures that very person. It doesn't injure the person who is arrested more than the person who is executing, who is arresting. You see, even in war is judged twice. The first judgment is based on the moral grounds, on the basis of which the war is waged. And the second judgment is how it is executed, how the war is fought. You can be a superpower, you can be very strong, but do you have the moral ground to go for war? First of all, let's talk now in secret terms. Now, if you have the moral grounds to go for war, did you fight correctly? This one goes to the CDF. You are injuring the army. General Muhoozi, you are injuring the army, and you are injuring yourself. Because these things are not supposed to be done in this way. If the issue is as what we hear in the press, that Erias Lukwago was supposed to serve papers of court as a lawyer, which required a person to defend himself in front of the courts of law. Then the CDF would have just allowed the papers to be served to him, and he would have responded by a similar method. There are lawyers, I believe he has lawyers, and they go and tussle it out in the course of law. That would have been the best case. The person who is immune to prosecution, I think, is the head of state. Is there any law which says the CDF cannot be taken to court? The next group of people who cannot be taken to court are members of parliament, also on issues which are related to their work in parliament. But if you are a chief of defense forces, you are a soldier, you are an individual, you can be taken to court. If there are papers to be served, why don't you allow these papers to be served to you, and then you go and see it from there? So for me, regardless of the pleasure derived by the arresting authority from arresting Erias Lukwago. If you feel happy that you have arrested Erias Lukwago in that way, you have tortured him, you have taught him Kiswahili in the basement, you have given him what he wanted to give, you can be happy that way. But at the end of the day, the court of public opinion and the real courts of law of Uganda will judge you differently. I would like to appeal to the leadership of the Uganda People's Defense Forces, including the Army Council, to look at the issues of how the army should be used in the defense of Uganda. The army can be used for issues of law enforcement, but with the request from police. It's supposed to be the police to be in front, and if the police says that what we are going to execute is beyond our power, we cannot manage alone, we need support from the army, the request should have come from the IGP. But I didn't see any policeman there. This is sad.